The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has cautioned members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, loyal to Nwanosike, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, against causing a political crisis in the state. The PDP was responding to the 7-day ultimatum issued by members of the Assembly loyal to the FCT Minister. During the plenary on Monday, the 27 lawmakers asked Fubara to resubmit the state's 2024 budget within 7 days. The sitting followed a Court of Appeal judgment in Abuja, dismissing the order of a Rivers High Court, which restrained the lawmakers from conducting legislative proceedings. Meanwhile, as Rivers State residents await the Supreme Court judgment on the status of the 27 lawmakers who defected from the PDP to the All Progressives Congress, the APC. We are now being joined by Dr. Samuel Nwanosike, former chairman of Ikwere local government area of Rivers State, a pro-Wike supporter. Good morning, Dr. Nwanosike, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity of letting me speak on your platform.
Well, the producer says you are pro-Wike, which means that your position in this matter of Rivers State House of Commotion is well known. Just tell us what you feel about the developments. I don't need to rehash them to you. You know what the developments are.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity. I want to take us a little bit to the genesis of this crisis, because there's a lot of misinformation in the society and in the system, so that people will be able to know the truth and so that they can lay it the way it is. Now, crisis broke out at the State House of Assembly in October 2023, to be precise on the 29th. It's a normal crisis that happens in legislature. House of Assemblies have their issues. And at the end of the day, based on that crisis, the then leader of the House, Right Honorable Lady Sinehie, was impeached as the leader of the 10th Assembly and suspended from House activities alongside his other 3 colleagues, Oko Jumbo, who is now claiming that he's speaker, Sokari Goodhead, Ahoda West, and the man representing the governor in Opopo Nkoro. The 4 of them on that 29th of October were suspended indefinitely. They have not challenged that suspension in any court of competent jurisdiction. Now, weeks after, the crisis snowballed into a drama where we started hearing stories that Edison has declared himself speaker that is staying in government house. Now the question is, based on Supreme Court ruling in several cases, how can any legislative house, a House of Assembly, carry out any business without having 1/3 majority, and you expect it to stand when Supreme Court have said 1/3 will be the quorum to allow for any legislative action? And again, for you to become speaker, you must be nominated. Where is the votes and proceeding, and who nominated this here to become speaker? As if that was not enough, when after we finished this issue, Mr. President stepped in by the invitation of some of our leaders. We all were invited, the 23 local government chairmen, all the House of Assembly members from both parties, the governor and the deputy governor. We went to the villa and we met with Mr. President. Mr. President said clearly, Mr. Governor, you have brought this matter before me and I've handled it between you and my minister. But I'm forced to come back again because Dr. Peter Dele and other leaders said I should re-intervene. But I want to ask, this intervention I'm doing now, will you let it work? And Dr. Peter Dele was given the mandate of reading the 8-point agenda that day. And each of those agendas, the governor was asked, will you implement? Will you sign? And the governor agreed. And we finished and we came out of that meeting and we thought we have had peace. Only for us to get to Rivers State. The people said they are loyal to the governor, started abusing Mr. President, even went to court, made all manner of statements. And at the end of the day, what we saw, that the governor who agreed, he later came out and said that no, I didn't sign this thing in duress. I signed in clear conscience. I remember your station heard his speech, his broadcast, and that he is ready to implement them. But midway, the governor refused to implement them. All the issues, don't interfere with Martin Samewule-led house, he has interfered. Don't stop, conduct local government election. Take back the budget. One of these items, how can you take budget to 4 persons that don't exist when you have 27 persons? Now, the issue that they are clamoring, say a seat has been declared vacant. Sir, you are a lawyer, sir, by training. Something cannot be put on nothing I expect to stand. Section 109 is clear that even if there is an action, as if not considering, the presiding officer will be the one to kick out that action by making that pronouncement. Because Edison has accepted that he does not exist. That even when NJC invited Justice George Wee, who gave the order to Edison, parading him as a speaker, George Wee said Edison lied to him and that he has paid a fine of 5 million. And that Edison, on that note, withdrew and resigned as a member. That today is chief of staff. Then they were 4. Today they are 3. All from nowhere. Because the governor was not in terms with the House of Assembly. Because the House of Assembly will make laws and the governor will allow 30 days for vetoing. And he's not comfortable. Because he wants an assembly that will be rubber stamp.
Dr.
When we are thinking of moving democracy forward in Nigeria.
Dr. Nwanosike, you see,
and at the end of the day, the governor decided to create another assembly led by Oko Jumbo, who was not nominated by anybody, who was not voted for by anybody. So we're asking, who is creating this crisis? So the question we are saying, if our party is saying that we are running a constitutional democracy, that the governor should spend River State money without appropriation, then is this the democracy we all want to run?
All right, that's a big question. Dr. Nwanosike, let me come in here. All right, let me come in here. That's a big question. Who is behind this crisis? You said that the governor is against the State House of Assembly, but there are bigger conversations around the governor. Also, at loggerheads with his predecessor, who is said to be his godfather in some terms, or that his benefactor, let me use that word, and that now that they're not on good terms, those who are loyal, and that's why we even started this interview with you, pro-Wike, people are pro-Fubara, and it's causing chaos in the state and the people are suffering. You yourself, when your tenure ended, had said that you were not going to vacate the seat, despite the fact that, and you cited a few things. And so these trouble, this inconsistency has caused a lot of trouble since the beginning, almost at the beginning of Governor Fubara's tenure. Would you say that in the interest of peace, rather than a pro-Wike, pro-Fubara, who is pro the River State people, and that you are one of the people spearheading this challenge against the governor because he's no longer in good terms with your, the person that you are in support of? Who is pro the people?
Okay, first of all, man, you see, this discussion, I will beg you, it is good when we want to say things, we don't trivialize them. We are talking about constitutional democracy. What is fundamental is the rule of law and the constitution, which is the foundation. Whether the governor is in good terms with me or not should not make the governor breach the oath of office he took, that he will uphold the constitution. So bringing the name of the FCT Minister is reducing a very serious matter that is to be discussed.
But his name was brought in from the very beginning. Sorry, Dr. Nwanosike. Dr. Nwanosike, from the very beginning of this interview, because part of what Dr. Bati had said was you're a pro-Wike politician. So right from the very beginning of this interview, his name was already brought in. So he was already a factor in this. So if you're speaking about constitution, then that's why I asked the question around, is it a matter of constitution or just two principles fighting and one person for, one person against? Because that's what the challenge had been. So his name had already been in the conversation.
No, hold on, ma. There's a point to be made. Let's consider the fact that, Wike is FCT Minister, and that the governor is carrying on his activity as governor as stated by the Constitution. What will Wike do? If the governor is governing, he's the governor of River State. Nobody is challenging him as being the governor. Supreme Court has upheld his position as governor of River State. But there's something. A farmer cannot go to farm without his farm implement. A doctor cannot go to the hospital without his hospital equipment. So in democracy, a governor, yes, in a democratic, yes, cannot govern without the constitution, without appropriation, without the rule of law. The governor cannot choose which order of court to obey or to disobey. For instance, man, How does it concern Wike that the governor has no relationship with his House of Assembly members that are in the same political family with him? That is his own business to do. Because if he, as a human being who has been given a responsibility, realizes that he has a job to do, he will make sure, like they say, stoop to conquer, to have a relationship with those people that will be the stumbling block, which is the assembly. There's a statement in my local diary said, if my face and your face is good, little things you do to me, I will just smile and laugh and follow you. We have relationship. Before now, as media, people used to talk about rubber stamp assembly. Rubber stamp assembly. Oh, whatever the governor bring the assembly, yeah, because people create relationship. Now, that has nothing to do with Nwanosike. Nwanosike is busy doing his job in FCT. But the question we are asking, will you agree that in a democracy, as a media personality, that Rivers State, which is treasure base of Nigeria, will be running without an appropriation? That it was right that the governor should take a budget to a speaker that never existed, nobody voted for, to say he has passed budget overnight. And now, because the Court of Appeal has given another window, and for 31st of June, that opportunity of the governor spending Rivers money based on the 2023 budget has elapsed. From 1st of July, every fund he spent is illegal. And the Assembly says no. His Excellency, we are still running democracy in Rivers State. Please, bring the budget. Because Justice Omoto showed in his judgment. And I will plead if your producers can place Justice Omoto's ruling so that Nigerians can read. Say, represent the budget to the House of Assembly. Rivers State has no budget. That is a court ruling that has not been appealed by the governor. So the question we are asking, sir, what is Wike's business in the governor bringing appropriation to spend Rivers money? Why will the governor say a decision that has been taken by Court of Appeal? The governor is still saying publicly that he does not recognize the decision of Court of Appeal, that Jumbo remains the speaker he recognizes, that he is the one that will state whether an assembly will exist or not. You're seeing the governor say it and you have it on tape, on record, and you're still calling Nwanosike, who has no business with what's happening in Rivers State.
Okay.
The question is, if you say you have a relationship with the assembly members, we want to know. Do the needful so that we can move forward.
Real quickly.
It's not as simplistic as you make it to be. Nwanosike has a hand in all of this, and you know it, except we want to deceive ourselves. You say it as if Fubara doesn't want to have a relationship with the House. Everything was all rosy until the fight started and these House members were told to defect. So I would also like to put the question to you, in what democracy where people officially announce their defection and they are still trying to use the court to hold on to their seats? If they are really confident about their defection, they should go back to the people and tell them, we have defected, we want to still challenge our seats, and they should go through an election cycle. But it's been a rigmarole with the courts. So let's not paint it as if, oh, Nwanosike is a saint in all of this. My question to you will be about even your debacle. You yourself were saying because of this problematic House of Assembly, they told you to stay 6 months extra. It had to take the governor to stamp his foot, also breaking the law by bringing in a caretaker committee. Were you supposed to extend your term after you served? These are the questions. So if we want to come to equity, let's come with clear hands. Does the law cover you extending your own seats as a local government chairman for another 6 months?
Okay, if I can answer your question, sir.
Yes, sir.
You see, that is what we're talking about. The people think politics or democracy is a walk in the park. Now, even the job you do as a press person, you prepare for it, sir. So you study, you read. You don't just come. You make research as a press person every morning before you come in. You put in sleepless nights. That is what a governor is. A governor is the leader of a state. And when you become governor, you must know you have obstacles. Whether you belong to this house or you don't belong to the other house, people will challenge your programs and your policies. People will just go and run away because you're the governor. No, it's not a military rule, sir. Sir, the point I want to make is that you asked two questions in one. So let me take the last one about my tenure. Fine. The House of Assembly has been agreed by Court of Appeal that stands today is that of Martins Amewule by the laws of Nigeria until a superior court says otherwise. Now, this House of Assembly saw that there is no budget for SEC to conduct local government election. Ab initio, I wrote to the governor, sir, based on where we are, this seat elected chairman tenure will lapse on the 17th of June. We need you to bring in budget so that we can make preparation and pass appropriation for conduct of election. The governor told both the SEC and the House of Assembly that election is not his priority. This same governor that has hurriedly insisted that election should be conducted in October. Now the question is, Justice Omotosho gave a ruling 24th of January 2024. From that date to the expiration of our tenure, we had a lot of time for the governor to issue notice of election with his SEC. But he refused. Why? Because he had in his mind that he would seize 3 months of our allocation, even while our tenure was running. And he instructed his accountant general to write the banks that they should bypass our signatures and pay our civil servants and run our councils, even when we are seated local government chairman. Our local governments allocated was for 4 months. That of Korea was seized for 3 months. And we sat back and Nigerians are watching. The governor, even when he saw that the federal government has decided the case in Supreme Court, and his Attorney General has made submission, and in that prayer they said clearly that they've reserved judgment that CTC is illegal. The governor went ahead to break that rule. Sir, the question is, you see, when we make this thing look as if, you see, okay, let's say for instance, if these assembly members that you are saying come and say, Sir Rufai, sir, do you have evidence to say that social person told us to take the steps we took in any action? You don't have, sir. So people speculate and say things and imagine things. Well, but whatever anybody imagines, there are foundations. If the governor runs River State with the rule of law, there will be no crisis.
Dr. Nwanosike, very briefly, because we're trying to wrap up. Now, yesterday, the Supreme Court ruled that Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution has been violated by governors who have created caretaker committees. There are caretaker committees in Rivers. What is the mood among the local government chairmen who are no longer there now and have been replaced by caretaker committees? And then Igbako Ikwere community, they met with the governor and endorsed him and pledged their loyalty to him. Were you at that occasion as an Ikwere son, or you boycotted it, or you are not a member of Igbako Ikwere? Please be brief.
Okay, let me start from the second one, the Igbako Ikwere visit. You see, we Nigerians know the truth. Sarube Abati, a businessman who is the one responsible in doing all the contracts, the major road contracts in our local government that owns the company MCC, decides to say he wants to perpetuate his leadership. And because he was former senator representing Obiakpo, that he is now the leader of Ikwere ethnic nationality, and that the governor has given him the mandate to organize Ikwere people, organize market women, organize HA people. The man is free. Senator John Mbata, since he left as senator of Obiakpo, nobody heard about him in politics until these few weeks when this issue started. And that's what we're saying. There are leaders that people don't mention who are creating the crisis because they are the one benefiting financially. The House of Assembly that was destroyed, the contract was awarded to MCC in billions. Roads and all the things. So if a man comes and says, I'm the organizer, he has his money. The government has given him money. So you go and shop people. And we know the society we belong. The true Ikwere people, we are here. We are on ground. And the Ikwere people stand by Zeboye Sonwike. And even you, sir, that is talking, you know that Sonwike is our pride. He's Diko Hawan of Ikwere Kingdom. Nobody can challenge that because he has broken all the records and he has given us dividends of democracy. Even when he was local government chairman to today, all his records, nobody has broken. So we don't want to worry ourselves about a Ikwere visit. By the way, Yesterday, Che visited. We don't know who will visit tomorrow. So the governor is trying to buy his support with the funds available to him. Wow. But what we are saying, all those announcements he's making, hope he realizes that there must be appropriation to spend those rivers funds. That's what we're saying. Now, answering the second one, I don't know if you can take the first question, sorry, because
yes,
it has gone out of
very quickly, please. Very quickly.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just remind me, sir, please. I don't be fair.
No, the Supreme Court ruling. The Supreme Court ruling about caretaker
okay,
committees.
the Supreme Court, yes, fine. First, thank you very much. The Supreme Court has settled the matter. The Supreme Court has made sure that we now run 3 tiers of government properly. By the actions of the Supreme Court, which they said, I was in the Supreme Court myself, they said clearly that before 1999, that funds were going to local government directly, and local government chairmen were being held responsible on the development of their place. Now, after 1999, the governors started the Jack meeting based on the Jack account based on amendment, and the governors started oppressing local governments. Today, we want to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for bringing this to the Supreme Court and getting victory for the Nigerian people. Check out the celebration in the north. Check out the celebration all over Nigeria. It shows that people have been dying in silence. Leaders have been full of pains in their heart, but they can't speak because they're afraid. For us who dare to speak, we are being punished. I'm being punished. My location is being seized. I'm being threatened left and right. But it's not a problem. For we believe that in democracy, what is paramount is the rule of law, obedience to the Constitution, and making sure that democracy is deepened. And I stand as a signboard to say, I have delivered for my people as a local government chairman. I have done projects in all my 13 wards. I have my records. Your studio have my records. And I'm proud to say democracy can work in Nigeria if we allow what has happened yesterday. And again, the same chairman are gone.
I'm going to have to come in
Supreme
here.
Court. Local government chairman, stand on their own.
Dr. Nwanosike, yes, thank you so much. Just as we go, one line sentence. We see very boldly behind you the PDP flag, and we know that there were some defections from the House of Assembly members to the APC. Is this you confirming definitely that there's no movement for you and you're remaining in the PDP?
I am a member of the People's Democratic Party, and in fact, I just validated my registration a few days ago.
That's fantastic.
And the matter you talked about the assembly is still sub judice. We don't want to talk about it until the Court of Competent Jurisdiction talks about it, gives a definite ruling on it. I will not speak about it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nwanosike. It's good having you on the show and you just highlighting a few things, having an opportunity to speak from your own perspective as to what is going on in the River State.